What's up, everybody? Peace to you guys. Welcome back to the Town Hall 15, and we are now 100% max on the Town 15 free to play. We literally have nothing. All I'm doing right now is forging loot for our clan capital, but we are 100% max. You can see nothing to do in the builder tab, and you guys can see here everything is completed from pets. Basically, we are basically just have a couple more pets left, but we are defensively and attackingly wise without the pets. We are 100% maxed out. As you guys can, as just working on the pets right now, um, the Frosty has more level to go after this, and then I'm going to work on the Poison Lizard as well. It will take a time, it's a ton of dark red, so I knew that this would happen. The pets are going to be taking a little longer ways as always. So, but we are basically done. Walls are done, defense is done, heroes are done, lab is done. So that is like the main priority being maxed out and being free to play. It was hard. I can show you guys how we did it. But before we do get into that, we're gonna get into the walls. So a lot of players don't know. For as you guys with public content and up, mainly you guys gonna be seeing people have all their walls done. But with 15, it's a little different because they when they're doing updates, so like newer town halls, they don't release everything. Walls is the main thing. Yes, defenses wise, there are going to be different changes because there haven't been any changes for the scatter shot and stuff because you max the scatter shots off at town 14. So they tell you the big update, which has been town 15, and then they introduce I'm just going to show you guys some attacks that I've been doing here in Legends League. Something new using the Super Archers and Yetis, more like a smash. But what they do is they give you the big update, which is Town 15, and they split that big update into sometimes two. So they make it into like two updates. So you can see a lot of 15s are going to have the max walls and then Town Hall 14 walls. So they split those updates off in two so that so that they don't want to give us the entire update so that everyone's just going to be max sitting on their loot and then having to wait for Town Hall 16 if that's ever going to be a thing. So what they do is they split the updates into two and give you Town 15, half walls, mainly like half defenses in a way. And then when it comes time for the next update, they then release the rest of the walls and the rest of the defense upgrades. So the mortar is definitely gonna have a new level, probably the scatter as well. I believe the arch towers had a new level. I can't 100% remember. But that's basically just the start of the new stuff that will be coming to the game. So the walls are done, and we just do have to wait for the next release of walls. So that's just a little bit of a heads up of a lot of players that don't know much about the Town Hall 15, or they may see walls or see a player with max loot and tell them why they're not spending their loot, so you can see where they really can't spend their loot on max things. So it was pretty hard to max 15, meaning to how long it takes, because it does take a very long time to max out. So the main thing you really want to be using is going to be your hammers. Hammers are like the biggest thing that I've been using. I'm using the hammer heroes a lot, especially because I want to always have my heroes up because I tend to like warring. I tend to like using City Bell. But for players that do not like to war as much as a 15, you want to have your lab done a lot. You want to have your lab. Pets play like a huge role in this game, especially Diggy. Diggy's probably one of the best pets to use, as well as the Phoenix. And the unicorn is always a good touch. The unicorn should be probably your first pet you maxed out at Tower 14, because it only goes to level 10. It goes to level 10, I believe. Yeah, it goes to level 10. So that's probably one of the first pets you want to have maxed out as well. But you really want to be doing Cedar Bell. I would recommend, if you're not a big war person per se, Cedar Bell is going to have to be one of those things that you want to be doing a lot, as well as Raid Weekend. Raid Waking has changed a lot now because you're only able to buy that one set of loot, sadly. It does suck. I can tell you it sucks now, especially with the change. But I believe you'll be able to still buy a decent amount of loot as well. But you want to be getting used to the potions. So like the research potion is definitely going to be your number one priority, especially if you're not able to have a lot of hammers. The hero potions and the power potions don't really need in per se. You can buy them here and there with your league shop medals, but I would recommend buying the hammer fighting, hammer spells. The hammer spells may not be as useful as you think, but it can work out here and there. But the thing that I normally would be buying would be hammer fighting, hammer building, and hammer heroes. So I always want to have my main heroes up. With the king per se, you can have him, you can drop him down, sorry, and leave him. And then the thing I've been using with having queen up, having the warden up, having a ground warden's ability is like number one priority. I always want to have my ground warden up, so I would use a book of heroes on him. I use a hammer of heroes on my queen, and even the RC as well when I have extra loot. If I do have extra dark elixir, I will drop down the RC and leave her to upgrade. I know that sounds weird, but I've been doing that on the Let's Play series, having her down sometimes. But the main thing I always want to have, I want to have my queen up, I want to have my Growler up, and if I do have that free book that I do have, it will go on the queen mostly, because I always want to have the dark elixir, have the queen up as much as possible, and then having the RC there as well. So with the pets now, um, I've been just dropping the pets. I haven't been really using um my runes of Darklit. I don't think I have rune of Darklit. So I could check. We could have a rune of Darklit and not know. But yeah, I don't have Darklit runes. So I've mainly just been dropping down the pets and leaving them. So I have been using these. Have been using the yak a lot. I've used the yak a lot, and I've started upgrading the Phoenix. So I've been literally upgrading Phoenix because I've been knowing that I will use the Phoenix on the King for a decent amount of attack strategies. With the Smash armies, I decided to use the Phoenix. With Lalo armies, I would switch in between the Phoenix and the Yak, depending on how many wall breakers I bring. So that's like attack strategies I would use my pets on the most. That's how I've been working on. So for this one, with this army that I'm using right now, I'll probably use the Frosty and the Electro Owl between each other, just because of the different armies that I'm using. But like I said, it works wonders. You need to be using your builders wisely. For me, the depending on how long a army or even a wrong replay, but depending on how long a defense will take. So say a defense is gonna take 2 weeks to upgrade. Just or sometimes some upgrades take 17 days, 2 weeks or so. But depending on how long something takes, I would do a longer upgrade, and then I'm going to do an upgrade that is going to probably take 2 days in front of that long upgrade, because I always want to have one builder. I don't want to be sitting on two builders or three builders. You want to be sitting on at least sometimes one builder. um Times if I'm going to have two builders, I'm going to be upgrading one more defense or sometimes a trap, because I've literally waited on traps on this Let's Play series. It probably shouldn't have, but you want to always have one builder. And if you have that one builder is going to be for walls. So that is going to be what that one builder will be for, walls. So you're going to be upgrading one builder, and then when you know you're going to be upgrading walls at that time with that one builder. And when you know if the next builder, say my next builder is going to be coming in 2 hours, I'm then going to upgrade a defense, because I know that that next builder I'm going to be getting is going to be coming in 2 hours. And I literally cycle it that way. So a builder and my next builder will be in 2 hours. I upgrade a defense that's gonna wait a little longer than the longest upgrade I have. So if the long upgrade has 19 days left, I'm gonna look for a defense that's gonna cost a little longer than that. So always gonna have a long defense going, and then have a small builder, which would be for walls. Always gonna have that extra builder, which would be for walls, and then have another defense going. So with heroes, the same thing can apply, but I always want to have a book. So with the queen, I want to have a book, and I always sometimes do the ground warden first because he is that elixir dump, because we're gonna have elixir in the lab, we're gonna have dark elixir in the lab. So the elixir dump will be in the warden sometimes first, and then I want to have the dark elixir along with the queen and the RC. So elixir dump into the queen, into the warden, sorry, and then when the warden is done, the books will be able to use for the queen, and I save the next book for the RC when the RC is done upgrading, because I tend to have two dark elixir things going at a time. With the laboratory now, it's going to be a little different. I use a lot of hammer of fighting. So the hammer fighting I use on Dark Elixir troops, and I'll tell you why. So the Dark Elixir troops, that the Dark Elixir that I'm going to be dumping in will be on the Queen. And I don't want to be dumping Dark Elixir into the Queen as well. And the lab. I know I'm using a book of heroes on the Queen, but I'm gonna show you guys I mean like a little trick. So if I'm dumping Dark Elixir into my Queen, I'm gonna be using my hammer of heroes, hammer of fighting on Dark Elixir troops. So meaning is, because Dark Elixir is going to be so much more important at my stage, I'm going to be using Dark Elixir here. Say I'm using Dark Elixir by bowlers. Bowlers is a good thing. I would use hammer fighting on the bowlers, especially because I like smash attacks. And then I would be using hammer fighting on the lava hound because I tend to do a lot of lalo. So what I do is I work ahead of time. So if I have healers, which I are even balloons or something small like the barbarians or the archers in the lab, what I do is when every city bell, I tend to buy everything here in the shop. Hammer fighting, hammer building, hammer spells, even hammer heroes. Yes, hammer spells. I would buy all of them when I have the medals, and then I would just do like smaller stuff in the lab. But I won't be doing dark elixir. I will always do elixir. I always tend to do elixir in the lab, and then I can always wait on the ground warden upgrade. So after that, when I have the next round of Cedar Bell, say it's meaning I'm still doing laboratory upgrades, but it's going to be elixir. Ground warden will be waiting a little while, yes. Ground warden will wait. If I do have a little bit of elixir that I can always dump it in with a free builder, I will, and I will let him sit. So I would always sit out of the Cedar Bell or even war at that point. Ground warden is up, I do Cedar Bell. So then, meaning is I have the full reset. I can use my hammers, hammer of heroes or hammer fighting. The hammer of heroes I can use like willingly because the heroes will always be up. But now with the hammer of fighting, I can go into my lab and I can dump Dark Elixir. So that's two upgrades with Dark Elixir done. That's bowlers, or that is the lava hounds. And that's Dark Elixir alone. So that's probably say that is a month worth of upgrades done in the lab already. That is done already. And then I can always go back in here and have elixir and just dump it into the lab. So the lab is always going, always have the lab going. With the pet house is a little different. Sometimes I always not have the pet house going, which is a tough thing. So waiting on the pet house is going to be the hardest thing for me. But having the heroes done is going to be your priority, and the pets is sometimes going to be your next thing to do. Hopefully this helped out a lot. This is a lot of information. I can tell you that, but you can always go back to the Let's Play series and how I done it. But it's pretty easy to do. It is time consuming, yes, but it can be done free to play. We've done it on the Town Hall 13. I've been thinking when the next update comes for Town 15 and the new walls come out, I would do the same thing. We will have the Let's Play back on Town Hall 15, finishing off Town Hall 15 fully maxed out, walls, defenses, everything. And then when that is done, I may then carry my 13 to 14. I know that sounds weird, but depending on how things go, timing wise, we may just have our Town 13 start at Town 13 max, and then the 15 will go on from there. We'll see how things go. You guys can let me know if you want me to just go to Town 14 on the 13 to see that, and then have two Let's Play series going, or we'll just wait and do the Town 13. We'll just keep the Town 13 and then just do the Town 15 free to play maxed out. But that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. Going through the Town 15 max free to play. It can be done, but it's very, very time consuming. You just have to use your use Raid Weekend. Raid Weekend, you should do Raid Weekend all the time. You always want to have your Raid medals. Raid medals is a big thing to help max out, especially if you're not like a big farmer or Legends League or something like that. And then do see the bell as much as possible. The raid medals may not seem that much, but being able to buy a hammer heroes to knock off even 8 days off a hero upgrade, or 14 to 15 days off a defense, you will see the progress very quickly. But that's it for me. I'll see you guys next time.